The latest generation of Toyota Yaris has been a huge hit, and it's easy to see why. It answers that fuel crisis that we're all currently going through. That strong hybrid engine gives you some really good fuel economy figures, whilst it's still pretty handsome, and that squat body kit makes it look much sportier than it actually is. They're already popping up all over the place, but expect to see even more Toyota Yarises, except this time they'll be wearing a Mazda badge. This is the all-new Mazda 2 hybrid, and it's in collaboration with Toyota and based off of the very popular Yaris. But what's different? Well, that's what we're going to find out in today's video. If you had any questions along the way about the Mazda, then please make sure you follow the link down below, where Underwood's Mazda in Colchester will be happy to help you out. Welcome back everyone who's already subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. And if you're not already subscribed and this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. This isn't actually the first time that Mazda has based one of its Super Minis off of a competitor product. Back in 1996, when they launched the 121, that was actually a reworked Ford Fiesta. But back then they worked just a little bit harder to differentiate between the two products. Changes between the two cars is pretty minimal. In fact, blink and you might miss it. It's rebadged on the front and the rear, and you also get a few different alloy wheel options. There's also something inside which I'll tell you about in a minute, but other than that, it's copy and paste. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. In my personal opinion, I think that the Toyota Yaris is one of the best looking Super Minis you can buy, and now that means that the Mazda 2 falls into that category as well. The main reason why I think it looks so good is that body kit. It's quite wide and squat. It feels far more aggressive than it actually is. The reason behind the such uncanny resemblance will likely be the fact that the Mazda 2 will actually be built in the Toyota factory alongside the Toyota Yaris. Around the front you've got that wide open grille, which actually in this middle spec Agile is finished in an almost textured plastic, which looks just a tiny bit like carbon. It gives it a nice feel rather than just using boring plastic, and you've also got it mirrored into the lights as well. I think it's clear that the Mazda 2 hybrid is going to appeal to a fresh, new, younger audience for Mazda. The existing Mazda 2 will still run alongside this one. But whilst the existing Mazda 2 offers classic, timeless styling, this one is far more out there. It feels modern, it feels fresh. I really like the contrast detail on this gloss black rear spoiler, and you've also got this gloss black part across the tailgate which connects the two rear lights. The only bit I'm not too sure about is this slightly cheap feeling plastic rear diffuser, but actually if you go up the model ranges, again you can have that changed to gloss black and it looks far more visually appealing. Now inside the Mazda 2's boot you'll find 286 litres of boot space, which isn't too bad. I think for most people that's going to be more than enough boot space. You can fit a couple of small suitcases in here or your weekly shop. However, if you did need more boot space, then you could go for something like the Renault Clio, the Volkswagen Polo, the Skoda Fabia or even the Honda Jazz, which all offer just a touch more boot space. The good thing is though, is that this Mazda 2 is a strong hybrid, but it still has a really competitive amount of space. Like with boot space, rear space is okay, but it's not remarkable. If you carry people for short journeys, it shouldn't be a problem. You've got nice wide windows, so I don't feel claustrophobic. Although if you are going to carry people often in the back, then there are bigger cars in this class. Inside of the Mazda 2, and here is the last detail which stands it apart from its counterpart, and that's the steering wheel. The perfectly round, leather-wrapped Mazda steering wheel. This feels really high quality. However, the rest of the cabin. Now, if you've not owned a Mazda before, the rest of this cabin is very well screwed together. There's a nice mix of materials used, especially considering this isn't the highest spec model. It all feels pretty good compared to other competitors on the market. However, if you have owned Mazdas in the past, This is not as plush as other Mazdas. There's no squidgy levers other than on the steering wheel. That's kind of where it ends. And you might feel slightly disappointed comparing it to your previous Mazdas. But you do have to remember that fuel economy is the winner in this vehicle. You'll be seeing fuel economy of 70 plus. And that means where you'll save on your fuel bill, you might just have to compromise with some of the interior qualities. Despite the interior not quite living up to Mazda standards, technology and standard equipment is very, very good. All versions get a 7-inch touchscreen, and if you upgrade to the higher spec models, that actually increases to 10 inches, which is massive compared to the standard Mazda already in the range. It's not quite as easy to use because it doesn't have the central scrollers to move around the screen, but what it does have is physical buttons down the side, so it's still going to be really simple. You also get a rear view camera as standard, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, so you've got most things you could want and need. I personally would probably want rear parking sensors as well, but that's just my preference, and for a car this size, a rear view camera should be more than sufficient. It's also still got physical climate control dials, which is automatic as well, and that's really simple and easy to use. It gets big car tech as well. You've got things like keyless start, adaptive cruise control for motorway driving, automatic lights, automatic rain sensing wipers, and you've even got a centre armrest, which isn't something that often comes in super minis. Storage for a small car is surprisingly good. There's door bins deep enough to fit a large bottle of water, a glove box big enough for the car's manual and, say, a packet of crisps, storage slots behind the gear lever, and another on top of the climate that perfectly fits a mobile phone. A little bit more storage can also be found down the centre and in the armrest. Just before I talk about the drive of the Mazda 2 Hybrid, let's have a hybrid lesson, because it took me a while to understand the differences between all the different variations. Now, for a starter, you have a mild hybrid. These have a small battery, charged via braking and driving, which assists the engine but does not drive solely on electric. You then have a plug-in hybrid, which, as the name suggests, requires you to plug it in and charge a larger battery. These cars can usually travel between 20 and 40 miles on full electric, but when the battery runs out, lugging around the extra battery weight can have the opposite to the desired effect. And finally, you have this, which is classed as a strong hybrid. Or parallel hybrid, uses both combustion engine and electric motors to drive the car, either simultaneously or independently. And that means you've got a little bit of the best of both worlds. It can drive for a short amount of time in electric to give you a great fuel economy, but also you don't have to worry about charging it. So what makes up the Mazda 2's hybrid drivetrain? Well, there's a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder petrol engine, and then that's paired together with a 0.76 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery, which powers 2 motors. Now together, these produce around 115 brake horsepower, pretty nippy for a car of this size. But it also can drive in fully electric for around 4 miles. That battery's charged by energy that's lost from braking via the regenerative braking mode, and also whilst you're driving. The Mazda 2 will almost always start up in fully electric, and then the engine will turn off and kick in depending on when you need it. This together gives you a really good fuel economy figure of around 70 to 80 miles a gallon. That's really impressive, and especially nowadays with fuel being so expensive, it's really handy. The Mazda 2 is best at low speeds, where it can seamlessly dip in and out of that electric, and also the CVT gearbox, which is the only one available, which is an automatic, is actually quite smooth at lower speeds. The problems start a bit when you push this vehicle hard. Put your foot to the floor, and as that engine starts to struggle, it doesn't always sound the nicest, and the gearbox becomes just a little bit more notchy. The place where it does align with classic Mazda experience is in its handling. Thanks to the fact that you've got a little bit of added weight from the battery and it has quite a squat stance, it handles really sweetly, especially for a car in this class. Safety is somewhere where Mazda has definitely benefited. Toyota actually built the Yaris to be the safest compact car you can buy, and it gets some really big car safety equipment, including radar adaptive cruise control and also lane trace assist. In addition to these systems, the body shell has been developed to provide the best possible occupant protection, in line with the stricter testing standards. For example, to protect occupant protection, this car, along with the Toyota Yaris, is actually one of the only in its class to feature a centre rear airbag. So there we have it. That's my thoughts and feelings on the all-new Mazda 2 Hybrid. Do I think they should have gone through more effort to differentiate this from the Toyota Yaris? Yes. Do I think that both vehicles are fantastic all-rounders? Absolutely yes. But let me know, what are your thoughts and feelings on the Mazda 2? Pop it in the comments down below. Thank you so much to Mazda Underwoods in Colchester for inviting me down. If you wanted any more information, then I'll pop their details in the description box and they'll be happy to help you out. If you've enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from me, then make sure you're subscribed. Until next time guys, see you later.